Okay, we're going to go over the syllabus for cultural anthropology. This syllabus is also available on Blackboard under the syllabus link. This course starts July 7th and will end August 7th, so it's going to go for exactly a month. This is my email, and it's the best way to get a hold of me. Since this is summer, I won't be reliably in my office or answering my office phone number. As for office hours, the best thing to do is to email me, and I will get back to you right away. If you want to actually have a phone conversation because you have multiple questions or multiple issues, you can email me and give me a couple of different times and dates that work with your schedule and your number, and I will call you as soon as I can, as long as that works with my schedule as well. So here's the course description and goals. This course is a cultural anthropology course, and it's being taught by myself. I'm a sociologist. But cultural anthropology and cultural sociology have a lot of overlap, so I'm actually very qualified to teach this course. We'll be studying different things that are relevant to culture building and cultural understanding, such as the creation of myths and taboos, the use and many times misuse of language and communication, the ideas of gender and race and sexuality and how they are not universal. We're going to also talk about concepts such as polygamy or group marriage. We're going to talk about issues of superstition and the idea of luck, specifically within sports, for example. So this is a really fun class. It's going to touch on a lot of things that most people find very interesting because it requires you to look outside your own culture and then turn around and then examine your culture in a way that you've probably never had the opportunity to, because like a fish swimming in water, it's very hard to really analyze your own culture because you're so deeply a part of it. Okay, this course will take a global perspective, so we'll be looking at multiple cultures and we will be looking at global issues that fall under the idea of cultural anthropology. Alright, these are the two required books. When I say required, you have to have them. There is absolutely no way you can pass this course without these two books. I know many times professors will put books on a syllabus and they never use them. I assure you, you will be reading from these books the entirety of this class. They're both available used. This one has been out for over 20 years, so you can get it extremely cheap. This book's been out about 3 or 4 years. You can get this cheap as well. So there really isn't too much of a financial burden in getting both of these books. There will be readings that will be required throughout this course that will have an asterisk, and they will not be in either of these books. Instead, I have them on Blackboard under the course material folder. So they are available to download as a PDF for free as many times as you need to. Okay, the biggest part of this that's extremely important to acknowledge is the time commitment and schedule of this course. This class is not only online, which requires a lot of self-management and time management, but it's 1 month for the equivalent of a semester's worth of material. So each week will be about the equivalent of 3 weeks of class. So there will be a lot of readings, there will be quizzes, there will be an exam every single week. This is not because I want to make this course difficult, it's because I'm trying to ensure that you would learn the same amount of material online as if you were in the course physically every other day. Okay? Technical requirements: you have to have reliable internet, you have to have access to a computer, a Word document program, preferably Word, and you will also have to download Respondus. Okay? So, if you have any questions, this is the website for the online education system. They can handle all your technical issues. I can't. But if you have any questions about anthropology or due dates, then definitely contact me. You also are going to have the ability to stream YouTube videos, as there will be 3 videos throughout this course that you need to watch and do a worksheet over. Okay, communications: do log into Blackboard every so often, and most definitely check your email, your Martin email, because this is how I will be contacting you. Assignments: they will be due before midnight on the last day of the section, and we'll go over this again when we talk about the specific due dates in a minute. Assignments must be turned in through Blackboard unless I expressly tell you otherwise, but that's unlikely. Late assignments will only be accepted in cases of emergency, extreme illness, university business, or the death of someone close to the student. In order to receive credit, you do need to contact me, and we need to work that out. Okay, technological issues such as your computer not working or your internet going down, I cannot accept that as a reason for late assignments. Instead, you need to just go to someone else's house or go to a public library. You can find access to free internet and free computers. You just have to be a bit more creative. Quizzes. After each reading, I will have a very short quiz posted on Blackboard that you need to complete. You'll only get one chance to complete it. They are for grades, and it's to ensure that you are reading and are getting the main points out of the material so that I know you're not just reading and flipping through pages. You are reading for understanding. Okay? Each quiz will only be a few questions, and you can take them at your own pace. However, they are due during the week that reading is due. So you can't do it at the end of the class. You can't do all of the quizzes at once. They must be done throughout the course. Okay? There is a National Geographic documentary called Guns, Germs, and Steel, and just to tell you now, it is hilarious. It's actually really interesting and really good. The anthropologist who is, I guess, the main character or the narrator in this video, he's a bit of a character. So as you watch it, feel free to get a couple of giggles at his expense. He seems to be a very sweet, very passionate man, but he does have some odd little quirks. Now, just to warn you, since this is a National Geographic documentary, it is documenting the lives of people who have different, let's say, dress code norms than we do. So there will be, for example, topless women occasionally, and men and women wearing very little clothing. Hopefully this is something that will not bother you overly much. It's not gratuitous. It's not sexual in any way. It is simply a reality of how they live their lives. If you have any problems with that, you need to contact me soon and we can deal with that. Okay, so these videos are about an hour long. I gave you the YouTube link. They are, of course, free. You have a worksheet that you will need to do after you watch each episode. So you'll have 3 worksheets total. And they are due before midnight, posted to Blackboard July 27th. They are available under course materials on Blackboard. If you have any problems with these links, let me know, and I can hopefully find you a different one. Okay? Exams will be taken every week, because every week is, again, the equivalent of about a month in class. Alright, so the tests, will cover assigned readings, in-class videos, and the PowerPoint lectures that I will post also on Blackboard, and I will do the voiceover like I'm doing this. There will be 3 exams and a final. The final is going to be worth 80 points, and the 3 exams are going to be worth 100 points each. Alright, the exams must be taken through Respondus. Please do not Google Respondus and try to download. The UT Martin has a relationship. They have an account with Respondus, and so you have to use this link. If you don't, it won't work properly, and it will not be an excuse for your exam to be late. It will be a 0. Okay? If you have any questions or problems with Respondus, go to this website and click on Student Quick Start Guide, and it's a direction sheet on how to download Respondus, set up your Respondus account, and use Respondus. Okay, please don't ask me, because I will just send you to that form. If after you go to that form you follow all the directions, you still have a problem, then go back up earlier in the syllabus and go to the ITC website and contact them directly. Okay, all exams will be multiple choice, short answer, and by short answer I mean it could be a name, a number, a few sentences, but it will be a short answer, and essay questions. Alright, for the exams, I will post review sheets to help you focus on the material. Also, it will assist you because, again, this is such a fast class with such a quick turnaround. So the review sheets will have a copy of the essay questions that will be word for word on the exam. So what you'll do is you will study and prepare very well for both of them, and on the exam you will have one of them. It'll be a random selection of the 2 options. So I strongly recommend that you study well for both of them, as you can equally get a chance to get either one. Alright, makeup exams will only be provided to students with a very good reason why they missed the exam due date, especially since you're going to have an entire 8 days to do the exam from start to finish, okay? You get the entire week, and you can take the exam anytime during that week. But once that week is over, the exam will close, and it will be an automatic 0 if you miss the exam. Alright, so exams that need to be made up better be for a university excused absence or a documented emergency, and they have to be, the due dates have to be made up with me no exceptions. After a while, this will become a 0. So this is not something that you can come back to me 3 weeks later and be like, oh, I need to make up exam 1. It will be a 0 by then. Okay? For your final, you will have a final paper as well as a final Prezi presentation. If you don't know what Prezi is, it's a free service that is very much like a much more interactive PowerPoint. Okay, so you're going to create a 20-minute Prezi presentation. You're going to choose a social group, and it has to be either a tribe, a band, or a chiefdom. You cannot be a member of the social group that you have chosen. So, for example, if you want to do the Cheyenne Native Americans, you cannot be a member of the Cheyenne Native Americans. This cannot be your ethnic designation. All right. You will discuss this group in both a present and a historical manner. I say or because many of the groups that you choose may no longer be in existence. So then you have to talk about them completely in a historical manner. All right, so the Prezi presentation will discuss the history, the location, the beliefs, the cultural norms, the material culture, and other aspects that make this group unique. Okay, talk to me about their music, talk to me about their religion, talk to me about how they choose spouses, what they think of in terms of childhood or sexuality or leadership or war, or how they do food, what is their ecosystem, and how does that affect how they dress, how they walk, how they talk, how they eat. All right, at least 2 audible aspects unique to that group must be a part of the presentation. So you need to choose some of their music or some of their chants or some of their poetry or a clip of someone speaking a native language that is native to that group. All right, visuals of the social group in terms of their material culture is also required, and of course as we go through the semester, the course, you will learn more of what I mean when I say material culture. But this means you need to find me pictures of their weapons, their clothing, actual members of this tribe or chieftain or band, etc. So I need to be able to see what this group looks like. Okay, each presentation will be graded not only on accuracy and information, but also interest. If I'm bored senseless while I watch your Prezi, it's not going to be graded well. Okay, you must cite and use at least 2 outside academic sources. Do not use Wikipedia. It is not an academic source. It is extremely unreliable, and it will cause you to lose a great deal of points. Okay? So you need to be thorough and specific. The process must be smooth. The presentation must be clear. All topics have to be cleared by me just to make sure that you are choosing a group that falls within the parameters. So for example, you can't use the US. You can't do Mexico. They're not a chieftain or a tribe. They're a country. Okay? This prospectus is due July 23rd. You can turn it in any time before that. It's just going to be a 1-page paper where you tell me basically what you plan to do. It's your plan of attack. What's your topic? What group did you choose? What type of aspects of their culture are you going to talk about? Are you going to look at their religion? Are you going to look at their music? Are you going to look at their food? Okay? And of course pick multiple topics within the culture and tell me some of the sources that you found already, because it's not good enough just to give me, I'm going to look at their music. Instead, I'm going to look at their music. They're known for using wooden flutes. I've already found a couple of clips here and here that shows their music. Something like that. That will be great because I need specifics. Okay? Along with this presentation, there will be a research paper due. You have to turn it through Blackboard. It's due before midnight on the last day of class, August 7th. Late papers will lose 10 points per day. They can only be turned in through Blackboard. Okay, you will write a 5-page double-spaced paper on only one aspect of the social group that you did your Prezi presentation on. So for example, for your Prezi presentation, let's say you did music, religion, art, food, and war. Let's say for your paper, you only wanted to talk about war. That's absolutely fine. You only had 20 minutes on your presentation, so you probably didn't get to say much about their war or their peace habits. So for the paper, that's where you're going to go in depth, okay? So you're going to talk about one aspect of their culture, of their group that makes them unique and that you basically found interesting. Okay? This paper will not be a reproduction of the information that you covered in your Prezi presentation. Instead, it will be an in-depth analysis that you weren't able to do with your Prezi presentation. Okay, you have to make sure that this is sociologically relevant so that it falls within an academic setting. So you must use theories and concepts from class readings and from the video and lectures, just class material, as well as outside research for, again, academic sources. So you need to have at least 2 sources from within the assigned class readings, and you must have at least 2 outside academic sources. When I say academic sources, I mean there has to be an author. It can't be the CheyennePeople.org, okay? That may be a good place to get information, and you can use it, but it won't count towards your academic sources. Your academic sources are written by people who basically have letters behind their name. They're affiliated with a university or a research facility or a think tank. They are putting their credibility and their reputation on the line, and that is how you can be assured that the information is accurate and not just opinion. Okay? No material that is pornographic or inappropriate should be used, okay? And here's the format for the paper, just telling you all of the nitpicky details that are required, such as I need a cover page, I need it in MLA format, these are the margins, double spaced, I want page numbers, things like that. Here's the length, in-paper citations. Here's some links that'll help you if you are not familiar with MLA format, okay, and that'll help you also with your works cited page that is required as well. This paper needs to be, you know, pretty well edited, so I don't want to read it and have to constantly stop and correct your words. I don't want to have to constantly go, wow, this person doesn't know to use a period. So do maybe have someone look over it just to catch some of your mistakes that are going to be there. Alright, here's the course breakdown, how your grading will be figured. So for each exam, 1 through 3, it'll be worth 100 points. Your final will be worth 80 points. Your presentation will be worth 50 points. Your final paper will be worth 50 points. All of your reading quizzes together will be worth 80 points. And then your prospectus that you'll be turning in to make sure that your paper topic and your presentation topic is appropriate will be worth 5 points. And then we're going to do a brief 2 truths and lie self-introduction that is under course materials, and we'll talk about that in a second. It's worth 5 points. And after watching the 3 YouTube videos, each of the worksheets will be 10 points each. So a total of 30 points. This will get you up to the ability to get up to 600 points in the class. This is the grading scale broken down. So basically, in order to get an A, you need to have anywhere between, by the end of the course, 540 to 600 points. And this breaks it down so you know exactly where you are. I'm really good about posting grades straight to Blackboard. I don't hold on to your grades until the end of the course. You will know throughout the course what your grades are. So you can keep track and you don't have to send me emails asking me, Dr. Anderson, what do I need to get a B? I will just tell you, go look at your points online and tell me where you fall under the scale. Alright, with final grades, I do not tolerate any last-ditch efforts to get a grade that you haven't earned. Don't email me, don't call me, don't cry, okay? I'm not going to make assignments for you that will help you get up 30 points that I gave to nobody else, alright? There will not be any of this, so please don't do it. FERPA is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, and it means that no one can contact me except for you concerning your grades. I'm not allowed to, nor interested, to be honest, in giving your grades to your parents or your significant other or your friend. The only way that I will disclose your grades is through Blackboard, because the assumption is that the only person that can log into your account will be you. Okay, I'll never put your grades in a public posting or anything like that. They will only be through Blackboard in the grade book that only you and I have access to. Okay, discussion and conduct, just be respectful. All of us don't have to agree. We definitely won't have the same political views or ideology, but be open to each other and do not purposely be antagonistic. Any type of derogatory language, specifically dealing with race, gender, or sexuality or class, or non-specifically used simply to disrespect or attack, will not be tolerated, and I will deal with that through the Office of Student Conduct. Academic misconduct, I take cheating and plagiarism extremely seriously. So all of your assignments will be read by me, and if I find a problem with them in terms of plagiarism or cheating, I will turn over your work to the Office of Student Conduct. Your final paper will go through the system in Blackboard that checks it against the internet and against the works of other students, so to make sure that it is original and it is yours. It is actually better for your grade that you take a 0 instead of turning in some work that is not yours, because the 0 will affect your grade less than the automatic F that I will give you for the assignment. So it's not worth it. If you have any questions about what constitutes plagiarism or academic misconduct, go to this link, and they have a long list, and they have a contact information such as a phone number as well. Okay, if you are registered with the Disabilities Office or the Office of Disability Services, you need to send me a personal email and let me know as soon as possible so that I can make sure that I am accommodating your needs and your requests. You have to go through the Office of Disability Services if you feel that you have a disability or you need circumstances specific to your needs met. You have to go through Disability Services. I can't help you without their permission. Okay? So when we talk about dates and times, just know that we're always talking about Central Time Zone dates and times. So if you're in a different time zone, just make sure that you're always aware that midnight in Eastern Time is not the same as midnight in Central Time. Okay, so for example, these are all the readings simply just for the first week. You need to read chapters 1, 3, 4, and 5 in the textbook. Within the book Cows, Pigs, Wars, and Witches, you need to read the prologue, Mother Cow, Pig Lovers, Pig Haters, and Primitive War. You also need to read The Savage Male and Potlatch and stop after page 124. Okay, then those are just the 2 books. We have these 2 readings which are available on Blackboard, Eating Christmas in the Kalahari and The Laws of Looking. Okay, these all needs to be done between the dates of July 7th and July 14th. All of this is due before midnight, July 15th. This is the time period. This is why I was telling you time management is extremely important. I would highly recommend setting aside a couple of hours every day to work just on this class, because this is not only the reading, you also have to do the quizzes, which are due before midnight, July 15th, all of the quizzes. You have to do the 2 truths and lie, which is also the self-introduction. Okay, when you need to do that, go to Blackboard under the course materials, and there's a folder with instructions. It's very straightforward. Okay, it's due before midnight, July 14th, with the quizzes being due before midnight, July 15th. And then the first exam, which will cover all of this information, will be due before midnight, July 15th. Now, if you're somehow this person that just wants to get the work done because you have some things to do at the end of the week, and you get all of this done by, say, July 9th, and you take the exam July 9th or July 10th, that is absolutely fine. You can do this as early as you want to, as long as it is between these dates. Okay? It is just being late that is not allowed. Alright, the review sheet for exam 1 will also be posted under course materials, as will the review sheets for the rest of the weeks. So for week 2, exact same format. These are the chapters from the textbook. Here are the chapters from the book Cows, Pigs, Wars, and Witches. You don't have to read the whole of that, just 179 through 195. Okay, these 3 are the readings that are posted on Blackboard. The quizzes are due before midnight, July 23rd. Your prospectus is also due before midnight, July 23rd. So I'm giving you 2 weeks to decide what group you want to do your presentation and final paper on. Okay. Then you'll need to go back during the 2nd week and do a response to other students in your class, the 2 truths and lies self-introduction. So, for example, I'm going to even do 2 truths and a lie and a self-introduction so you can get to know me, and basically just go through and look at everybody's and try to guess which one's the lie. And then by this week, by midnight, July 22nd, all of us, including myself, will go back and let you know which one was really the lie and which 2 were the truth. Alright, your exam must be completed before midnight, July 23rd, and that moves us to the 3rd week. Again, I hope you see how much material we will be shoving into 1 month. Alright, these are the textbook chapters. These are the readings on Blackboard. By this week, we will be done with the book Cows, Pigs, Wars, and Witches. But you will be required to watch these 3 videos. Alright, the video worksheets will be due before midnight, July 31st, and all of your quizzes will be due before midnight, July 31st, covering this week's material. The exam will also be due by July 31st. The last week of the class, these will be the textbook readings. We're only going to have 1 single reading from the online the Blackboard readings. And so this is because by then, by the end of this week, you will also need to really be working on your Prezi and your final paper. All right, your final exam is due by August 7th, midnight. Your week 4 quizzes, same, as is your Prezi and your final paper. Okay, so all of this is posted in the syllabus that is on Blackboard. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I hope this didn't take too long. So now that you've seen my introduction video and we've gone over the syllabus, go do the 2 truths and lie and the self-introduction assignment so you can start getting your points for this class.